Hello students, welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture we are going to see about the synchronization operation and or the parallel operation of alternators, and also we are going to see about the synchronization torque and the synchronization power. So what is the necessity of having connecting alternators, different alternators in parallel means in order to supply the loads and in order to have the economic operation of the power stations. So in order to cater the needs of the customers, we need to have we may be having several alternators which are all connected in parallel so that the need of the customer can be met. So the parallel operation of the alternators are necessary, but the condition which for synchronization are very important in case of paralleling the or synchronizing the alternators. So what are the conditions? The conditions are: the first one is going to be the terminal voltage of the incoming machine must be same as that of the bus bar voltage. That is, we are going to connect the alternator which is going to be set as an incoming machine. That incoming machine is going to be connected to the bus bar. So bus bar is an infinite voltage power system where we are going to connect our incoming machine, that is the alternator. So the bus bar voltage and the incoming machine voltage must be same. That is the first condition. The second condition is going to be the frequency of the generated voltage or the frequency of the incoming machine must be same as that of the bus bar frequency. And the third one is going to be the phase sequence of the voltages should be same as that of the bus bar. So the RYB, the sequence should be same as that of the bus bar that should be met in the incoming machine. So advantages of having the parallel operation is going to be the continuity of supply is possible when the breakdown or shutdown for the maintenance of the alternator in generating station. The repair and maintenance time, the parallel operation checking is very much important, and also the depending upon the load requirement, any number of alternators can be operated. So the economical and the improving the efficiency, we need to have the parallel operation of the machines. So what are the methods of synchronization? The first method is going to be the dark lamp method, and the next will be the bright lamp method, and third will be the synchroscope method. The conditions to be satisfied are voltage, frequency, and the phase sequence, as we have seen in the previous slide itself. The dark lamp method, in this method, here we have mentioned it is a bus bar. This is going to be our main switch. This is going to be the existing alternator from which the bus bar is going to be supplied. So in this bus bar only we are going to connect our incoming alternator, that is the alternator number 2. So the incoming voltage will be across this switch. So we need to connect this particular alternator to this bus bar. So how to connect this? We will be having this first method as a dark lamp method. So we will be connecting 3 lamps across the terminals of this particular machines. So we will be connecting L1 across the red phase, and L2 across the Y phase, and L3 across the blue phase. So what are all the outcomes that we may met with this particular type of connection? The voltage V1 and V2 should be same. The phase sequence, if the phase sequence of the two sides, that is the incoming alternator and the busbar voltage, if those phase sequence is going to be same, then the 3 lamps should be glowing uniformly together and becoming dark together. That is the the three lamps should be uniformly should glow, and they should dark together. So if that particular condition is being observed, then we can come to an understand that the phase sequence is going to be correct. If the frequency of the frequency is different, means phase sequence, we can check with that voltage should be same. That can be first uh, uh, first they can be checked. So after that we will be checking the phase sequence. So if this condition is going to be met, then the phase sequence is going to be there. And if the lamp flickering is going to be should be uniform. If the frequency difference is there, then the lamp will glow dark and bright alternatively. That is, the uniformity will not be maintained, but this dark and bright alternatively uh, will be flown, so that will be glown, so that we need to have this frequency difference in the particular system. So at that time, if we are meeting with that particular type of condition, then we need to change our speed of the alternator too. So this is the one method that is going to be called as the dark lamp method, because depending upon the dark lamp's alteration, we will be having the judgment to be that whether the phase sequence is correct or the frequency is correct. So what are the demerits of this system? It is not possible to judge whether the incoming alternator is fast or slow. That is, if the particular machine that is coming to the particular bus bar, if that bus bar is having the frequency as high or low, that is, speed is going to be high or low. So that we cannot judge. So first we will be having that particular machine that is to be connected through this dark lamp method. That dark lamp will be observed. So if the dark and bright will be alternative, then we will be coming to know that frequency is different. So we will be having to know that frequency is only to be different. But whether that particular frequency is plus side or minus side difference, we don't know. So that is the one of the demerit of this system. And the lamp can be dark even through the small value of the voltage that may be present across the terminals. That is the small value of the voltage change, that will also make the uh, lamp to be dark, so that we cannot come to a conclusion that yes, that is an phase sequence, like phase sequence change, or the phase sequence is correct. Likewise, we cannot come to one conclusion. So that is the main disadvantage of this system. So next one, we are going to have a bright lamp method. So in this bright lamp method, in order to overcome the demerits of the dark lamp method, we will be coming across this bright lamp method. So in this bright lamp method, we will be connecting the existing the incoming alternator as shown in the figure. So we will be connecting the lamp one across the uh, across the red and the yellow of this particular wire, and we will be connecting the L2 across the yellow of the first and the blue of the second, and we will be connecting the L3 from the blue of the first one and yellow of the second one. So likewise, we will be connecting them in this particular fashion. If we are connecting like this, that is, the lamps are cross connected, and the lamps will glow brightest when the two voltages are in phase. So we will be coming to a conclusion that V1 is equal to the V2. So if the phase sequence is not same, then the lamps will start to toggling in uniform. That is, the if the phase sequence is not same, then the lamps will be first it will be brighter, so, more brighter, because the V1 and V2 are going to be same, so the voltage will be squared, so that we will be having that particular lamps to be glowing very brightly. So that particular brightening and the darkening will be toggling in each other in the uniform format. That is, if the phase sequence is not same. That is, that too, the first L2 will glow at first at bright, and L1 and L3 will be follows less first bright, and it will be go into dark. So if this is the first condition, so that if L2 is first glowing as brighter, and next the L2 will L1 will be glowing brighter, and L3 will be glowing next, means then we can come to one conclusion that the phase sequence is not same. Then we will be changing, and depending upon that particular condition which we met with that particular one, so we will be having the phase sequence to be corrected. If the voltage and the frequency should be same, means the three lamps should be dark together. So if that particular condition is met, then we will be having that particular uh, alternator can be connected in parallel with the bus bar. So the third method will be the synchronoscope. So the synchronoscope is an scope which is having a magnetic needle. That magnetic needle will be connected towards the two of the two of that particular system where the existing alternator is available and the incoming alternator will be available. So these two terminals will be connected, and these two terminals will be connected. So in this particular case, the spindle which is rotating over this particular sliding scale, this particular spindle will be rotating based upon the magnetic field which is generated towards the difference between the voltages between the incoming and the outcoming alternator. So we have to first find out uh, whether the particular machine, so whether the incoming alternator will be fast or slow in comparison with the existing alternator. If the spindle will be going towards this side, that is anti-clockwise side, then it will be mentioned as slower. Or the particular spindle is going to be rotated on the right hand side, that is on the clockwise side, then the speed of this particular machine is being mentioned as a faster one. And that is the frequency of that particular will be the phase sequence of the particular will be faster one. And the frequency of this particular operation can be found out by the speed of the rotation of this particular spindle. So these two can be measured in this particular synchronoscope. So depending upon that particular speed and the deflection of this particular spindle, we will be coming to know that whether the incoming alternator is fast or slow, depending upon the particular measure which is observed in this particular scale. But the main drawback of this system will be that if the particular machine is going to be have this particular synchronoscope in only in one phase, but we cannot measure with the two phases with the another two phases, so that we cannot come across with the phase sequence of the machine. So that is the main disadvantage of this synchronoscope. So if you are using this synchronoscope, then we need to have another device to be installed so that the phase sequence of the two alternators will be same or not. So the in total, the dark lamp method is going to be the most efficient method for the synchronizing of the two machines. So the next will be the synchronizing current and the power and the torque. So if you are having this particular two machines to be operating in parallel, if the frequency of the first machine and the frequency of the second machine is going to be equal, then E1, that is this generator voltage of the first machine and the generator voltage of the second machine, should be 180 degrees apart. So the E1 and E2 should be like this. The phase sequence of this particular two machines should be like this. If the speed of the alternator 2 is going to be slightly higher, that is the E2 will at that particular time the E2 will be departing from this particular 180 degree 180 degree nature of the synchronized nature. That is, if it is going to be synchronized, then E1 and E2 will be in 180 degree phase difference. But if the speed of the alternator 2 is going to be slightly higher, means then this particular E2 will be deflecting towards this side. So we will be having an alpha degree. So if this alpha degree is going to be very small, then the circulating current. So because of the speed difference, there will be voltage difference also being available. So depending upon that particular thing, we will be having a circulating current to be passed across this. So if this angle is going to be very small, then this particular circulating current which we are having here, the circulating current may be in phase with this particular E1. So if this particular E1 which is in phase with this circulating current, then the first machine, that is what the slower machine which is having have to be motor, because the particular machine which is having this particular synchronization between these two, so the circulating current will be reduced, so that it will be accelerating into one accelerating mode. But this E2 will be that is this machine 2 will be deceleration mode, because of this particular phase in phase nature of this particular E1 and the ISC, the machine will be acting as a motor. So because means the first E1 and ISC will be in phase, means there will be a voltage dip will be there. So depending upon that voltage dip, the machine will be coming into one nature of motor, so that it will be getting into acceleration in order to making the voltage dip over that particular terminals. So the M2 will be generating mode. So action of this particular circulating current which brings down the speed of the machine 2, and it will be raising the speed of the machine 1. So the synchronizing current which is going to be the ISC, that can be found out, that is this circulating current due to the speed change of these two machines, the ISY which is equal to ER divided by Z1 plus Z2. The synchronizing power can be found out as E1 into this particular synchronizing current, and the angle difference between this E1 and ISI. So the angle difference is going to be phi 1. So the cos phi 1 into this ISC into E1 will be given as a synchronizing power. The synchronizing torque can be found out by the formula. Synchronizing torque is equal to the output power divided by the speed. So the output power, that is the synchronizing power, which makes this particular difference, that is this particular difference will be getting by the maintenance of this particular angle between this ER and the ISC. So this particular maintenance of this angle will be maintained, and if this angle maintenance is going to be there, then if this particular phi 1 is going to be reduced, or this particular E1 and ISY is going to be in phase, then the particular machine will draw the power from the source, because it will be having the flux to be reduced, so that it will be sucking power from the mains, so that it will be acting as a motor. So that kind of action is is initiated by this synchronizing current, and this synchronizing current will be generating some power over this particular period. So this will be the synchronizing power, and the synchronizing torque will be found out from the synchronizing power. So such wise the machine, if a machine is getting higher speed, so for some time the higher speed will be coming into the synchronizing mode by making the circulating current, and that circulating current is going to be called as the synchronizing current, and the sum of the power will be delivered between the two machines. That power is going to be the synchronizing power and the torque also. Thank you.